I'm bigcal, and welcome to my world, and welcome back to Dragon Questober 5. Today is another annual Dragon Quest themed recent video games pickups video, where I take a look at all my Dragon Quest related pickups from the last year. So let's just dive in, get started with the game that came out towards the end of last year after Dragon Questober 4 had already finished, and that is of course Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake. So yeah, this is a remake of Dragon Quest 3 for the Nintendo Switch, PS5, PC, and I think it came out on Xbox consoles as well. And it's done in the HD 2D style. Some people are getting a little sick of it, and yeah, I can certainly see why, but I still very much love it. It does look fantastic, and on the Switch here it even plays fantastic still. There is a little bit of slowdown and frame drops in certain towns when there's more stuff going on, but yeah, for the most part, absolutely fantastic. And this is probably the definitive way to play the game. And trust me, as someone who has played through 5 different versions of Dragon Quest 3 now, pretty sure I'm qualified to be able to give a decent opinion on that. After all, I have played through the NES, Super Famicom, Game Boy Color, the mobile port that was then put on Switch, and now this HD 2D remake. And yeah, I can honestly say this is the best version of the game. And despite playing through it so many times, I still love the game. This does have some new content as well, which is really, really good. And I highly, highly recommend this version of the game. So yeah, I will be taking a more in-depth look into this game next year when I look at Dragon Quest 1 plus 2 plus 3 HD 2D remakes to compare them to their original versions and the other ports as well. There won't be full reviews because I've already fully reviewed Dragon Quest 1, 2 and 3 during Dragon Questober 1, 2 and 3, so it'll just be more of a look at how they're different from the previous versions. Next then we have somewhat of a Dragon Quest Holy Grail for me, because this was the last English language released Dragon Quest game I needed for my collection, minus double dipping on games such as Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake, which I still need to get the PS5 version and the Xbox version, etc. Yeah, this is a game that I hadn't owned at all, and it is for the Game Boy, and it is Dragon Warrior Monsters 2, Tara's Adventure. So, Tara's Adventure is, of course, a sequel to Dragon Quest Monsters, the original game on Game Boy, and yeah, it improves in pretty much every area here. So, Dragon Quest Monsters 2 went the way of Pokemon by releasing 2 different versions. There is Kobe's Journey, which I've already owned for a number of years, played through, and then there is also Tara's Adventure. So, they're essentially the same game. Kobe's Journey you play as Kobe, Tara's Adventure you play now as Tara, Kobe's sister. And it's the same game, but you just have version exclusive monsters like you would in a Pokemon game. Yeah, so it is a fantastic game. I've already played through, like I said, Kobe's Journey a few years ago, and it was very, very good. Big improvement over the original game, which I still love a lot. Yeah, so we'll be playing through this game again at some point to do a video on for Dragon Quest Monsters 2, but not for a few years, probably. And yeah, very nice to finally own this game, because Kobe's Journey, very easy to find. See, these games never came out here in Europe, so I have to import from America most of the time, but you can usually get an English seller with Kobe's Journey. Decently cheap for what it is. You know, you're looking at maybe £40 maximum usually for a really good condition cartridge only. This one, on the other hand, couldn't find an English seller, had to import from America. It comes up much less often. Much less often, is that even a term? It comes up less often than Kobe's Journey, and when it does, it is more expensive, but well worth the money to finally add to my collection. So yeah, for English released Dragon Quest games, now it's just double and triple dipping into games that I already own on different platforms, and waiting for new releases like the upcoming Dragon Quest 1 plus 2 HD 2D remakes that are out at the end of the month. So I have to go to Japanese games now, and we'll start off with Dragon Quest Monsters, Terry No Wonderland for the 3DS. This is a full 3D remake of the Game Boy Classic, the original Dragon Quest Monsters game. Of course, there is no English release, because It's Dragon Quest, we get very little over in the West, all things considered, but there is a terrific fan translation, so you can play through it if you want to, like I certainly will at some point in time. So, there is also a remake of Dragon Quest Monsters 1 plus 2 on the PlayStation 1, but this is a completely built from the ground up release, and it is using the Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 3, I think, engine. So, yeah, it's very good technically for the 3DS, looks good, plays good, sounds good. Unfortunately, with this version being in all Japanese, I couldn't figure out a way to get into a battle to show off footage of that, so it is just me running about through the hub world. Yeah, so happy to own this. Again, why did we not get this in the bloody West? It is a really, really good version of the game. I can't wait to dive in properly playing the fan localization of it at some point in the future. I've already talked about Dragon Quest Monsters 1 during Dragon Questober 2, I think I talked about it. And I briefly mentioned this game, and I just emulated some footage of it, but now I have the original cartridge, I've got the fan localization that I can use, and of course my 3DS is modded for video out, so I can record the footage of my playthrough when I get round to doing it. So at some point in the future there will be a full video looking at the 3D remake, and maybe even the PS1 version if I can get hold of that, but I don't know if there's an English localization of that version. Anyway, moving on then, we have another Japanese exclusive 3DS Dragon Quest game, and this one now is Dragon Quest Monsters 2. Iru and Luca's marvelous magical key. No, marvelous mystery key. Sorry. Yeah. So here we have it. So again, this is a full 3D remake of Dragon Quest Monsters 2, only both versions have been combined. Hey Pokemon, take notes. Yeah, so again, there's no English release of this version, but there is a fan translation, so you can play it that way. And again, I couldn't figure out where to go. It's been so long since I've played these games, I couldn't remember exactly where to go to get into a boss fight, or not a boss fight, just any monster fight. So my footage is, of course, just me running around the hub world area. I will cover this at some point in the future, like I said, for a Dragon Questober video when I look at Dragon Quest Monsters 2, but that will be a few years away. Yep, another cool Japanese-only Dragon Quest game. So we'll end now with the games shown off here with another Japanese exclusive Dragon Quest game for the 3DS. One that I just wanted to add to the collection. I didn't think I would have that much interest in, and that is Theatre Rhythm Dragon Quest. So the Theatre Rhythm games, most of the series is just Final Fantasy themed. And they all got English localizations, official. They released outside of Japan. But of course the one Dragon Quest version of the game didn't, because Square Enix hates Dragon Quest and the West for the most part. And there is also no fan translation that I could find. Luckily I was able to get into the game and play it easily enough. I just have no clue what the story is about or what the actual objective is. So gameplay, it is a rhythm game. And basically what you do is you have to tap, hold, swipe and move around the DS stylus as music plays. And it's music from 10 Dragon Quest games, because 11 wasn't out yet, tons of tracks from all of those games, and you have to do all these different rhythm-based movements to inflict damage on your opponents, and it is just a complete and total blast. So I was very, very surprised by how much fun I had playing through this to record some game footage. It is a blast, and I so wish it was available in English through official means or even a fan translation, just so I could properly enjoy the story. But luckily I can get through it easily enough to actually just go into the levels and play them and hear all those great music, all the versions of the songs from the 10 Dragon Quest games. You even get a bunch from Dragon Quest 10 that we never got over here. Yeah, so it's a very, very fun game, and highly recommend it if you're into rhythm games. So those are all the video games for Dragon Quest pickups. Now then, normally I would bring out a box of merchandise, but I've had to retire that, unfortunately. That is no longer part of the series. Instead, we have a bag of merchandise, because I picked up a Dragon Quest tote bag. And it's Dragon Quest Monsters themed as well. So yeah, I ordered a tote bag. I was expecting it to be bigger, because tote bags over here are typically like twice this size. So when it arrived and it was so small, I was like, oh, that's weird. But I don't know if it's a whole stereotypical thing, you know, everything's bigger in Texas, everything's smaller in Japan. So is this their normal tote bag size? I don't know, but it was able to at least fit in what I bought this year for merchandise. Come next year, depending on how much I buy, it might end up struggling, but for now, it's perfectly fine. So let's dive in then with the first item, and that is a Prima official strategy guide for Dragon Quest builders. I had no idea that this existed because strategy guides, physical certainly, just kind of disappeared for the most part years ago. So I had no idea a game like Dragon Quest Builders actually got one, because it seemed like strategy guides were dead by then. So yeah, as soon as I saw it, I had to pick it up. It was nice and cheap, cost me about a tenner. Very happy with that price. And it works out perfect because Dragon Quest Builders is a game I will be covering for Dragon Questober 6 next year. It was going to happen last year. I got ill. It was going to happen this year. I was still recovering from illness and didn't have time. So it's definitely going to happen next year. And while I've already recorded game footage and everything, because it was going to happen years ago, I'm probably going to scrap all that footage, redo the gameplay, game footage, replay the game. But I'm going to use the strategy guide to help me along the way, because it includes maps of the areas that you're in. There you go, all the points of interest, all the different monsters and materials available and things like that, and special things to do. There's a big glossary at the back of all the monsters, where to find them. All the materials, where to find them and what they do. If it doesn't look very good on camera, I'll take some photos of some pages. But yeah, nice big thick strategy guide, lots of images, lots of information. So it's going to be very fun to play through the game yet again, using the strategy guide to make sure I don't miss anything. I'm a big fan of the Dragon Quest Builders games. The sequel far out surpasses the first game for certain, but the first game is a blast. I look forward to finally getting around to talking about it on camera. Right then, next up we have some still sealed Dragon Quest XI pin badges. So I'm not entirely sure where this is from. Was it a promo item that you sent out to people? Were you able to just go online somewhere and buy it? And oh no, it's actually opened up now. When I've took it out of the bag there, it's opened up a little bit. Oh well, doesn't matter. I don't care that it's sealed or not. It's just it was unopened when I bought it, so I've just kept it like that because I'm not going to use the pin badges. Yeah, it's a really, really cool item. I'm very happy with that. Again, I'll take a photo if it doesn't look very good on camera. But yeah, happy to own that. It was nice and cheap. Next then, we have some stuff that I had to look up what they were, because I wasn't entirely sure, but these came as a package with some other things, nice and cheap. These are still sealed as well, and they are Dragon Quest themed name cards, I believe they're called in Japan. Basically business cards. They've each got two designs, and both packets have different designs ever so slightly. Again, I'll take photos to show them off a bit better. Yeah, so those are nice and cool. Just to have just around for merchandise for the collection. I won't obviously use those, but some stuff that I might use. What's coming up next? These are Dragon Quest notepads. So we have 3 sets of 2 here. We've got this one, Dragon Quest Heroes, and a bunch of monsters there. And we have this one, a bit more simplistic, but still very nice. And this one that I opened up because I originally did not know what they were. And I opened them up on camera, believe it or not, because this is the 3rd time I am recording this video. The first time it was out of focus and looked horrible, despite the fact it looked really good on camera. So I scrapped that. That was from yesterday. Then today, earlier, I recorded again. Everything looked fine on the phone when I was looking through the viewfinder. So I changed the settings from what I did yesterday and everything looked great. Put it on the PC, still out of bloody focus. So I'm doing it a 3rd time now. This time I made sure to record some footage of myself just moving about, checked it on the PC, all seemed fine, so I quickly turned the PC off and started recording again, so hopefully this will be much more in focus this time. Yeah, because I don't want to do this again. Yeah, so I opened this up to see what they were, and obviously find out that there are little notepads, very nice, and just very basic inside, just a little slime there in the corner. And I probably am going to make use of these. Part of me is like, oh, they're really cool, don't want to use them, just keep them as they are, but the notepads, they're designed to be written in, and I like to write stuff out by hand. While I usually type up my scripts to print off and have a nice clean copy, I do write notes and everything by hand. I have tons of notepads going back well over a decade from my YouTube videos, ideas I've written down, actual scripts and things that have happened, stuff that has never been seen on camera. Yeah, so I'm always writing down. I've got notes here for this video on an A4 piece of paper. So yeah, having notepads, especially smaller ones like this that I could carry around with me, really, really useful. So I probably will make use of those at some point in the future. And then finally, this was going to be a nice cool item that I was going to open up for the first time, but I've opened it up twice now and I'm going to do it a third time. It is a Dragon Quest clock. So I originally saw this on Vinted when I was looking for Dragon Quest merchandise, and it was £35. And like, that's a bit pricey, but it looks really cool. I do kind of want it. So obviously I looked around to see if I could get a better price. 15 quid on eBay. much better price. So let's open it up now for the third time and show it off on camera. Yeah, there we go. Open it up. Yeah, so let's get a nice good look at that. Hopefully it'll show up good on camera. Again, if not, I'll take a photo. Yeah, so it's got the cool Dragon Quest monster design. It's got a nice dragon there. It's the little pendulum. When you actually get it properly set up and straight and level, this does move on its own for each second, which is really cool. And I have tested it out as well, put a battery in, and yeah, it does indeed work. I had a little bit of trouble with the battery because I don't know if it's different in Japan, but here batteries, obviously they have like a little film around them, and that's usually for the branding, Energizer, Duracell, things like that. But when I was putting it in, the little film around the battery, that's what it was getting caught on that, and it wouldn't go in properly. I really had to smash it in there, but it did eventually go in, and it does work, and I really, really like the design, and I'm absolutely going to hang this up somewhere and have it as a clock in my room. I really, really like it. So yeah, nice, cool piece of merchandise. So, hopefully third time is lucky, and hopefully this video will go out and I won't have to record for a fourth time. Please don't let me record for a fourth time. So, I'm bigcal, thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought of my merchandise and my Dragon Quest games pickups this year. Let me know if there's anything specific I should look out for next year that I don't already own. And I'll see you again at the end of the month for the final big Dragon Questober video where I take a look at Dragon Quest V.